Welcome back to Talos 1, where the designs just keep getting louder and more annoying. Keep getting worse, and I keep pointing out the flaws in them. Hold on a second. Okay, for a second I thought this one was actually to the floor, and I was gonna say, well, if you could do that one, why not the rest of them? Actually, for that matter, this isn't even... They're not... Oh, this is some fucky perspective shit. Okay, so back on my bullshit after the last episode, I thought the reason these were angled was because it is a conical display. As in, like, these are all rectangles and they're being patterned around a cone. Well, no, now that I look at it again, it's hard with this camera. The camera's a problem. So they're all tipping towards the center, which is the right thing to do. But then, even the middle one, which I think is this one, I think the middle line is the seam here, actually. Those don't even reach the floor either. And then, yeah, as they pattern out, they get more and more angular because it is conical. But even that doesn't really make sense because you can't pattern... The parallels are going to get unparalleled if it is actually a cone. This whole thing's a geometric lie. Alright, anyway, let's see here. Exterior Plenoptic Camera Array 1, 2, and 3, okay. Note for technical issues with screens, contact Dr. Lorenzo Calvino or Miyu Okabe. I don't want to power them off. Oh. They don't even have... It's forward and reverse? They don't even have a return to live? What the hell? Oh, and there's a camera elevation control. Okay, so there is an elevation control. It still doesn't explain how they implemented these cameras. Sort of tempted to go out there and see if they even created cameras in space, but... Okay. Okay, this is a little better. This addresses some of my complaints from the last episode. It's still not great, though. Most of my concerns are still valid. You still can't see shit from down here. I don't know why they call it that. Oh, wait a minute. It's not... Oh, okay. Okay, I misunderstood what this meant. Okay, when it says camera orbit, what it means is this is not reversing the video. It's actually adjusting the orbit, like the orbit of the camera. That is doubly unclear because that's not how movement in space works. You don't turn on a dime, or you don't like accelerate and decelerate instantaneously. So at the very least, it should come to a... I thought I saw a detection bar. It should come to a slow... It should slow down and then start going the other direction, rather than just flipping directions. That's not how... That's not how velocity works anywhere, including in space. Yeah, I don't see any reason to turn it off. Okay, so... So... I don't think I'm ever going to legitimately figure out either of these. My temptation is just to use the resources at my disposal as an on the internet person and just look these things up. Um, because I am ultimately kind of a completionist. Um, Speaking of completionist, in the last in the last episode I didn't mention it because I didn't want to interrupt it, but I got the psychometry achievement, which is to listen to every transcribe recording, which is cool. That was one I was definitely thinking I was going to miss a bunch, but it makes me reassures me that I've been doing an effective job of scanning the whole ship. But let's see. Working off the cargo bay. I wish it even showed progress on this. I feel like I got progress on this at one point, but of course none of this is marked anymore because both of these you have to hunt for them. And the other objective... Okay, let me read these. I've been contacted by another operator named December. Like January, it has my voice. However, December's directive is to help me escape Talos 1. It claims that before I lost my memory, I hid the key to Alex's private escape pod in the debriefing room in the Neuromod division. It looks like Alex figured out its scheme first, though. The key was gone, but I tracked a series of clues that led me to a safe in Alex's office. The safe had old transcribed logs from me, plus a key to Alex's room and the crew facilities. I found Alex's escape pod key in his room. I could just leave this all behind now. So it is fascinating that it's listing this as an optional, quote unquote, optional quest. I assume this is the alternate ending. However, we do have these two main story options. Okay. I left myself instructions to destroy Talos 1 if the Typhon broke out. The process requires 2 arming keys, mine and my brother's. I managed to secure a fabrication plan for mine, and Alex is waiting for me in the Arboretum to give me his. Before I give you the key... Okay, I don't know why these are two separate things, because as far as I can tell, this is just the next step in this, in get Alex's arming key. Alex said he would give me his arming key when I got to office. When I got to office... You know, no, I was going to say that could be, well, maybe it was that actually could be a flag from somewhere early in development. So I wonder if they at one point intended for Alex to also potentially have a different gender. I do find it fascinating that they chose to give Morgan a relatively gender neutral name in order that Morgan Yu works as a name they can use for either male or female version of the character. And Alex is also a pretty gender neutral name. And I wonder, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that this absence of a pronoun is not a typo and instead a flag somewhere in the code that is missing a pronoun definition that was used in a prior version of the game. Why am I being so generous? I honestly don't know. I do kind of appreciate more than more than I've said before, just that they are using some like gender neutrality, and it's not... Oh God. All right. I'm going to get on my soapbox for half a second. So those of you who have played Mass Effect and have played multiple paths or seen multiple playthroughs of the game may know that there is a problem between male and female Shepard. Male and female Shepard are played completely differently, and the voice actors... there's a problem with the direction, because, and we found out about why this is after in interviews with the voice actors. male shepherd is played fairly neutral. Um, in the sense of, like, if you pick Paragon or Renegade options, why am I just sitting here talking about this? Fuck it. I just bumped the mic, my bad. I threw my hands up in the air. I'm gonna start walking to the Arboretum. Did I get everything in here? I do want to continue this train of thought. Where does this go? Hold on. Have we been up here? Was this the entrance? Oh, we haven't been here. Okay, so I am going to pause here and we're going to talk about this. Okay, male and female shepherd have a problem because they're played completely differently. In one case, the character is played fairly neutral. And so if you pick Renegade or Paragon options, you can sort of slide between the two, and the tone is relatively consistent, but doesn't have a lot of weight behind it, because Renegade Shepherd just is slightly more dickish or slightly more nice. Comparatively speaking, and my memory is that its female shepherd is played polar opposites, where the voice actor who did her voice, who I forget who it is now, played basically the opposite version of Shepherd, where she recorded two disparate versions of Shepherd with different voice tones and, like, very, well, part of it is a problem of writing, different language to attached to a certain tone of voice. And so if you play female shepherd and you mostly pick Paragon but occasionally pick Renegade, female shepherd seems insane, because female shepherd will be very nice for all the Paragon stuff, and then you pick a Renegade option and she just seems like she's bloodthirsty and murderous. And this is a problem. It is a widespread problem in RPGs in particular, where writers are trying to do as little additional writing for efficiency's sake, to write characters both that write in such a way both that it is gender neutral in address, but also in cases of voice acting, that it is not a profoundly different experience when the dialogue is read out. And that is somewhat up to the voice actors, somewhat up to the direction they are given, and somewhat down to the potential interpretations of the scripts that they are given. Because you can certainly control the experience of a game with any of those three things, but they all influence each other. Anyway, there's my little tirade. Stop writing bad, inconsistent characters and figure out how to... Can you figure out how to write women, please? Oh, this doesn't look good. Yeah. Try not to do shitty writing. We'll just leave it at that, I think. I can't sit in the chair. Bummer. This is a very weird... This is weirdly high. You really have to arc your head up there. And this doesn't... Well, it does have a piston, like it's supposed to be controllable. But the pivot for it... Wait a minute. What is going on here? Oh, no. Somebody actually did think this through. It's not good, but somebody did think this through. Okay. So you have an articulation point here, and so this all tips down. Unfortunately, the problem is if you tip this far enough down, this is going to hit you in the head. There's a second piston up here that controls the pitch of this pivot. Well, it's a 2-point pivot. And so that is the angle of these screens. So basically around that, more or less that point up there, the screens would tip towards you. Although now that I think about it, Well, that should all be automated because presumably they have screen angle problems. So the assuming your eye line is staying in the same place, the screen should always tip to be optimally angled. This doesn't look like a very good angle. This needs to recline more in order for that to make any sense. Plus you have the problem of like you're crawling under the screens to get in this chair. Shit's weird. Okay. Well. Wait, so I got the...
I already... Captain Jada Marks.
I hadn't gotten this one yet, but I got the achievement.
My deliberation over the fate of the shuttle Advent. I'm unable to determine with confidence if the Advent departed before being contaminated by the life forms presently overwhelming Talos 1. Best guess, based on telemetry data, Advent departed approximately 30 minutes prior to the first incident report logged by security. 30 minutes. It is within that narrow gap of uncertainty I must decide whether or not to remote detonate the shuttle and its 5 passengers. They may very well be flying a cargo hold full of mimics to an unsuspecting Earth. They may not.
Captain! We could sure as hell use that golden gun right about now!
Oh, fuck.
I don't...
No, don't interrupt my... I was listening to that.
Captain? Did I thought... Your shift isn't for another 2 hours, but I need you to come in now.
Oh, fuck. What's going on?
No, it's not. Stop by my cabin first. Bring the gun from my safe. Transmitting the key code. Right away, Captain.
Well, this is not giving me enough time. Shit, I stood in here too long.
Alex, this is Captain Marks. I'm calling to let you know I've authorized a full evacuation of Talos 1. I've tried to issue a mayday to Earthside operations, but our external communication systems are malfunctioning. If you're still with...
Okay, I'm gonna read this real quick while... Oh, is it still running in the background? Or is it paused? Flight log. Shuttle Advent. Prepare Scott Parker, flight engineer Talos 1, departs Transtar Seattle facility. Destination Talos 1. Captain Tom Cooper. Earth liftoff was at 0900. Conditions nominal. Pre-check certified. 4 executive passengers. Mail cargo. Flight was uneventful until 11:33 when radar detected an unidentified shuttle approximately 30 degrees off our flight path at 9,000 kilometers. Its drift and rotation indicated malfunctioning maneuvering thrusters. There was no answer to radio calls. Captain Cooper ordered a course adjustment to bring us alongside. As we maneuvered to within 60 kilometers, a second shuttle appeared on radar in the vicinity of the drifting vessel. Transponders identified it as a military vessel. Didn't we agree to not militarize space? We received a radio message to resume our original heading immediately. Captain Cooper asked if assistance was required and the order from the military shuttle was repeated. All highly unusual, but then it got really strange. The captain spotted it first. There was a facility out there and it was running absolutely dark. No lights, radar transparent. We were too far to see any details, but it was big. Cooper snapped into action, punched in a course to Talos, and fired the engines. We moved out as quickly as possible. Our passengers were clueless to the entire encounter. Our arrival at Talos went by smoothly, and the passengers and cargo were delivered safely.
We're keeping our posts until the last pods are safely away. Marks out.
Okay. I need to save the game. Do I have all the information to make this decision? I don't feel like I do. New code equals hire date. Shit. Station-wide announcements. Pre-recorded and played evacuation announcement. Okay. Email. Shuttle Advent. Captain Marks, before it's too late, I thought you needed to know that Shuttle Advent departed just before the first alarms. They did go through standard inspection with us before we knew what to look for. If they land in Seattle with one of those things aboard, I've enabled the scuttle charges on Advent. They can be activated remotely from the bridge. It's in your hands, Captain. They will touch down soon. For what it's worth, they have no idea the scuttle charges are enabled. Drew Springer, Flight Engineer, Transtar Talos. From Sarah Elazar to Jada Marks. Captain Marks, your transcribe is offline. I can't reach you, and I know that you wouldn't leave Talos where there's still crew on board. I know it's a long shot, but if you get this message, contact me. I'm in cargo bay at the moment. I have a handful of survivors with me. I hope you're okay. Fuck. I do not... Where is Captain Marks's quarters? Who the fuck is that? Oh, he's got a briefing room thing. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know. What? I don't know. We don't have any... Nobody scanned this thing? Nobody scanned it? We don't... I guess they can't scan it remotely. We don't know anybody... We don't know who's on it. Would that matter? I don't think it matters. I think Earth is already infected. I think the Earth is... If Earth either is already infected or there are so many vectors for infection, and we still don't have the information necessary to judge... We don't know the extent of the Typhon distribution or whether there are people with neuromods, and if they have neuromods, how in control are they? Can they be removed at all? For all we know, the only people who are actually immune to the Typhon are people with the white noise or whatever it is. Everybody else could be completely fucked. This place has done such a bad job of containment that I think it's too late. I think it was too late before we even woke up. I'm going to cut the episode and think about this, and then we'll decide what to do.